It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Kevin, we did it!
With not a minute to spare.
Man, oh man, am I tired of sitting on my couch? Never. But we watched so many movies, but because we watched so many movies, Kevin, what's the plan?
So the plan tonight is, or today, I don't know when you're watching this, we're going to review the 5 movies from Monday through Friday. I should do all of the numbers.
Yeah.
The 5 movies that aired Thanksgiving week. I know you watched them and thought, are they going to remark on these? Well, we are.
Of course, why would we skip a movie? Why? That's not what remarkers do.
No, I was so tempted because I was behind one movie and I was going to text you and say, I'm not going to watch this one, I'll fake it, but you do the bulk of it. And then I was like, I can't do that. So this morning when I woke up, I turned it on and my daughter goes, are you serious?
She's 7 and she's like, are you serious? Are you serious, Mark? So, all right, we're giving ourselves increments of time.
Right.
To only have that limit of time to speak about each movie.
Right. Each episode we've done, which has been about one movie, has been about an hour with all the add-ons and stuff. Clearly, we're not going to do a 5-hour episode. So we're going to try and keep this to an hour and see if we can do it. And the only way I can think of to do that, Kristin, is this timer. So this timer will run. We have 5 minutes to talk about the heart of the holidays, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about how long it took to write. The timer hasn't started. The timer hasn't started.
Okay. Let me know when, because I'm ready to put some fuel on this dumpster fire.
All right, Kristin. So before we begin our conversation, very quickly, the Hallmark approved synopsis of Heart of the Holidays is as follows. Career-driven Sam, as played by Vanessa Lengies, I believe is how you say her name, Lengies, sorry, returns to her hometown for the holidays where she comes face-to-face with her high school boyfriend, Noah, played by Corey. Let's give him a real French version and say Xavier. I don't think that's it. No, it's probably not. Together, they rediscover what matters most in life. Kristin, are you ready?
Kevin, I've never been more ready.
And begin. Go.
Kevin, this movie was garbage. I hated every moment of this movie. I don't understand why they never once until like maybe 78, 79% through the film, we discovered why Noah hates Sam.
Yeah, it's weird. He doesn't hate her. I'm going to defend Noah here. And I also want to point out that the actor who played Noah also directed the movie, which I think is why he only spoke about 9 or 10 times in the entire movie. He's the love interest and he barely spoke. But Sam left. We do find that out and incredibly late. But they were dating, and at one point, she just leaves to go to New York and doesn't even tell him. He finds out from town gossip, Val, who would be played by Kristin Finger if I
Thank you. Thank you. The moment Val showed up, I was like, I am Val. Val is me. But Kevin, I didn't know that the guy that was Noah directed this. And now that you've explained that, I understand why also he looked miserable the entire time.
He did. You know, one of the people on one of the Hallmark groups somewhere said he never smiles. And the very first time you see him, he's smiling. And I was like, well, they were wrong about that. And the second he sees Sam, the smile fades and he doesn't smile again until like the end of the movie. And I was like, that was pretty accurate.
He's just a grumpy lump.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't hate Sam, but I also was like, I don't really know Sam.
Right.
and I don't care about either of these people. Also, I kind of felt bad for the mom because I feel the story should have been about the mom and daughter, because the daughter just abandoned the mom after the dad passed away.
Yeah.
Dead dad alert.
Dead dad alert, absolutely. And the dad also never smiled, and they made a point of saying that. So that's what she's attracted to. Noah doesn't smile. Hey, I like a guy who doesn't smile. So
It's so Freudian. It's so Freudian. That's Freudian, right?
that's definitely Freudian, yeah. So one of the things that drove me crazy about this movie is Sam has a boyfriend, Will, in the very beginning of the movie. He's the worst boyfriend, although as we go through the movies this week, you'll see maybe he's not. But he puts a ring box down in the opening of the movie like he's going to propose, and then he takes a phone call. And Sam is left to look at this ring box, which I gotta say, as a dude, and I'm not going to defend all dudes because some dudes are dumb, but no guy is dumb enough to put a necklace in a ring box like that. I don't even think they would sell it that way. I think if you went to buy that at Zales or Every Kiss Begins with K or whoever, they'd be like, not that box, sir. This one.
Yeah, you're going to have a very angry, confused partner that you're presenting this to. And yeah, the fact that he took a phone call when he was like, here, his gift for you. I got a phone call, see? And
But sometimes that works. Like sometimes I am like, okay, he's career driven. This guy, his business partner does so much of the work. He doesn't even know the business is there acquiring, and he acquires the business, Castle Investments, that Sam is going to work for. And he's like, oh, I didn't know we were doing that. It's like, you're a business partner in this. How do you not know that?
What is your life? And also like, just, there was no, I hated everything. The only person I liked was Val.
And Bob. Give it up for Bob because
okay.
Bob goes with Val, and Bob, even though he didn't have a beard, he is of that white beard sage
with Santa.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that feel.
The other thing that I enjoyed about Bob and Val was just like, can the movie just be about Bob and Val?
I'd be fine with that. Because
we never got to see them deliver that huge gingerbread house to the group home. I wanted to see their reaction. That's like, what a weird set piece to spend all this time building just to have those two leads like get really close to each other and be like, oh no.
Right, because Noah almost falls holding it and Sam grabs it, and then their faces come right together, about to kiss, the almost kiss, and then that's it. And you're right, you never see that. If it broke, it would have been like, oh, I get it.
Oh, I get it. Mm-hmm. But no, it was like we never got to see the ending of that gingerbread house victory.
Yeah.
But it was nice that they did the food bank, and that woman's going to hire her, of course.
Yeah, Sam comes home back to Crawley, and she will live there and help people out going forward.
Well, why? All right.
10 seconds, do it.
This interview on New Year's Eve? There's no interviews on New Year's or Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Or New Year's Eve or the eve of anything.
That's it. That's all the time we have to talk about. Whoo! We did it. Chris, we did it. What we don't need to put a time limit on is our Hallmark Holiday Hunk Objectification.
There's no time limit that is too long for this segment. This is going to be 1 out of 10 mistletoes. Of course, you understand the rating system. If you haven't, what are you even doing with your life?
If you don't know it, you're going to know it by the end of this episode.
All right, so we're starting with Noah, played by some guy that also directed it.
Yeah, Corey Sevier, I believe his name is.
1 out of 10 mistletoes. What do you rate the character of Noah?
Okay, there's not a lot I can say about Noah. I did like that he kept the ornament that he made to give to Sam, and he had been putting it on his tree. He didn't throw it out. I did like that. I respected that. What I didn't like, he saved Fitzpatrick's cafe, which is great. They never explained how. They never explained what was happening to Fitzpatrick's, that it was going under, but somehow Noah was able to take his 2 hands and bring it back from the brink. The other thing I really liked about Noah is that when they were setting up what ultimately became the Heart of the Holidays, the store that they set up for the people who lost their jobs, Noah went immediately into electrician mode to get the refrigerator running again by opening up an electrical panel which had 3 circuits in it. That's it. And I'm thinking, someone couldn't have done this? And then he works on it for a long time, which what he was doing looked dangerous. I think he had a screwdriver, and I'm like, Noah's gonna die. He did not die. Because he directed the movie is the only reason I'm giving him a higher score as someone who's directed things too. It's not a high score, Kristin. It's a high.
I was like,
yeah. I'm gonna give him a 5.
wow, you're great.
It's higher than what I imagine you will, but a lot of that's off camera stuff.
He is a dud. Like, he literally, like, when you just see like you go into the dentist office and there's just some guy sitting there and you're like, there's a person. That's Noah to me.
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to him at all. The only time that gave him like a point that attracted me was when he wore his hat. And that was when they entered the place that they were going to fix that refrigerator for.
Was that a crisp white hat, Kristin?
No, it was just like, I think it was a beanie. I think he had a beanie.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I love a hat. And it was better than his weird hair that like parted in the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. If they would have simply like maybe swooped it to, or just the middle part was too much for me. Leave the hat on next time, Noah.
Agreed.
So his hat got a point. And then the only other thing that got a point was, again, like you said, he saved that cafe, and I like that he's a do-gooder. But other than that, he has the personality of a wet sponge.
Definitely.
So I gave him a 2.
Nice. Yeah. There will be a couple trends to follow that occur as we review these movies. One of them is the old man, I call it the white beard sage advice. They don't have to have a white beard, but they're typically an older man. The second, which I'm uncomfortable with this, but it happened in more than one of these movies, is the spurned Asian woman. And we'll get to that. So in this one, the woman who runs the bookstore liked Noah, and he had no time. So to be continued.
And she seemed cool.
She did seem cool. Yeah. All right, Kristin, this go around, I feel like there might be as much or even more to discuss than Holiday of the Hearts. However, that's not what it's called, is it? Heart of the Holiday, whatever.
It doesn't matter. It was garbage.
Yeah, it was not a good one. So this one we're going to review is A Tree Grows in Colorado, which I just want to say this for the record, it was originally listed as A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which is already a movie, a story we know, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But for this version, we're only going to allow 4 minutes for our discussion. We can do this. We can do this. So again, let me read the synopsis real fast. According to Hallmark, Aaron is planning the town's Christmas celebration and must win over firefighter Kevin in order to obtain the beautiful spruce tree from his property for the celebration. Starring Rochelle, I'm going to say Atis as Aaron, and Mark Taylor as Kevin. Kristin, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let it rip. Go.
Alrighty, Roo. First thing I'm going to say is I have never interrupted anyone's building a snowman technique. That to me was baller.
Right? Yeah, Erin interrupts Kevin building the snowman because she says it's crooked. And it's like, it honestly didn't even look that crooked to me.
Oh, Kevin, it was very crooked. It was like the Leaning Tower of Snowman.
Was it? All right.
Yes.
Yeah, you do interrupt. Why would you not interrupt? You don't want snowman particles everywhere. That's called snow.
I live very close to my South Philly neighbors, and I would never, like, whatever they're doing, I'm like, you're doing that. I'm not going to come talk to you about that. But this woman, I don't even know why they went outside. Why were they outside?
She saw the tree. If you remember, she was at her neighbors, looked out the window and saw the tree, and they were already in a panic because the town of Brooklyn, Colorado, they lost their tree because of tree rot or root rot.
You know what? That is spoiler alert, Kristin's favorite character in this movie announced it.
Maggie's great.
The person doing needlepoint during an all-staff meeting is my GD hero.
Yeah, Maggie would be cast as Kristin Finger once again. Yeah. Every one of these movies has Kristin in it.
So the fun trope about this one that I enjoyed was there was that firefighter, right? But like the interesting thing is this firefighter had a very large chip on his shoulder. I'm not quite sure how he climbed up any ladders with such a huge chip on his shoulder.
Very heavy. It's actually one of the few chips that it wasn't explained, but it gave you information and you could put it together yourself. And I liked that, actually. We find out that Kevin has an adopted daughter, Claire. He adopted her when she was 5 years old. And there's a reference to, that's really awesome that you would adopt a child that's older. And he said, I was 8 when I was adopted. So he himself was adopted. And if you think about where the magic of Christmas lies, it makes sense that he may have missed part of it not being in a family, if you will, until he was 8 years old. So that might explain the chip.
But I mean the chip of, it's a tree.
Yeah,
chopped down. Like there was no like, my grandfather planted this tree.
I thought that was going to happen.
This tree was birthed from my wombs. Yeah. There was none of that.
Even his own father said, give up the tree, son. Who cares?
I literally thought when the grandparents showed up, they were going to be like, oh no, the tree. And he's like, just cut it down.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I was like, this whole movie has been about this tree that he cares way too much about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any meaning to him. But before our 4 minutes is up, can we talk about Steven the intern? Who,
absolutely.
What a fun character.
No, I didn't like him.
What?
No, he was a problem. And Maggie, he's the antithesis to Maggie, because he's the one who basically eminent domains this tree. He's like a go-getter. Neil, I liked. At first, I didn't, though, because Neil is the treasurer and he's saving money and they cut funds to the fire department. So the fire department, and also, by the way, there are like 15 people working in that fire department full time. What?
That's unheard of.
If it was in Brooklyn, New York, I would get it, but like in Colorado. But yeah, and then we find out, because the person I thought you were going to talk about was Mitch, which, you know what's up.
I know what's up. Go ahead, keep going about Mitch.
Well, Mitch was the firefighter friend to Kevin. We find out A, he's Jewish, which is awesome, and B, he might be gay. Which
he's gay, Kevin,
or at least he's queer. But we don't know that at first. Yeah.
We don't know that at first, but then we get to meet this amazing, like everyone thought that she was, what's her name? Aaron was going to be with the new guy, but then they went on a date and he was like, I'm gay. And then at the very end, he holds hands with Mitch. Are you kidding?
Oh, that's time. That's 4 minutes. We can't talk anymore. Other than to say, this is an okay movie. I would actually say it's worth watching.
It's worth watching.
Unlike that last piece of crap whose name we've already forgotten.
Garbage.
There was a gentleman in this film and a firefighter, our first firefighter of the season.
Okay, well, Kevin, let's objectify him. 1 out of 10 mistletoes. Just so you guys know, a fireman already gets 3 right out of the bat. So that's just what it is. It's how Hallmark works. Kevin, what do you give Mark Taylor playing Kevin?
Well, here's the thing. He gets 3 for being a firefighter. He gets 1 for being named Kevin. So he's already at a 4. So where do you go from there?
Where do you go?
Yeah, if that's where it dies, that's not very good. I'm not going to go super high on Kevin. There was part of me that did identify with the idea of, if someone comes in and says, I want your tree, I don't know. You know, it seems a little weird. And then they ultimately eminent domain his tree. And it's like, yeah, that's problematic. Because now you're like, the government is coming in and taking your tree away. That said, it's a huge spruce tree that drops needles. There's no way Kevin's lawn isn't like almost completely dead. All that shade, all those needles. So kind of give up the tree. So I'm going to give him another point for never having to mow his lawn. And finally, I'll give him one last point because I love his friend Mitch, and I wish the movie was more about Mitch and Neil. So Kevin will get 6 points for me.
Wow, that's excellent. All right, I'll give him a point for being named Kevin because I like people named Kevin. What dropped him mostly was his like stubbornness, and just sort of whatever. But what I did like a lot about him was how much he did care about the important things in his life
I
and
agree.
how much he would go to bat for them, right? But also, I thought he was a very attractive man. He's just like not super hot to me,
Yeah.
right? Like right out of the gate, Ronnie Ray Jr. Well, that was his name, Ronnie Rowe Jr. They had the same beard vibe. They had the same, but I don't know. And like, he's not Tyler Hines, and I don't know. He's cute, but he's not my like go-getter type. You know what I
Got it.
mean? Not
Yeah.
Ian Bailey. God, I give him a 6.5.
Oh, you had to one-up me.
Sorry, that 0.5 came because I don't know. I like a bald man. I don't know.
He's not bald.
I
The
know.
mayor was bald. Are you judging the mayor?
Wasn't the mayor who I was talking about that?
Our third movie that we will be talking about is a movie called Good Morning Christmas.
No, Kevin, please do the title correct. Good morning, Christmas! There was an exclamation point. The title was shouting at us.
Yeah. Those are always my favorite. So for the film, Good Morning Christmas.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have two squabbling TV hosts are sent to a festive small town over Christmas. While pretending to get along for the sake of appearance, they discover there's more to each other than they thought. This is starring Allison Sweeney as Melissa Mary and Mark Blucas as Brian Bright. Kristin, this one, I think you guys see a theme. We have 3 minutes. Go, Kristin.
Okay, 3 minutes. First of all, I'd like to talk about the convenience of their last names, creating a holiday-themed show that actually happens all year round.
Perfect.
Also, I'd like to make sure that I point out that Mark Blucas tried pulling off the exact look that Chris Evans pulled off to perfection in Knives Out. He
Did he
tried
do it?
wearing a cable knit sweater with even the tan trench coat. No, he did not, Kevin.
Ooh,
Failed.
so good. So yeah, Mark Blucas is essentially supposed to be Michael Strahan. He is a football player, ex-football player, or ex-NFL player is what they say. They never say a team name. He was an NFL player, played football. We find out that Mark Blucas is the guy who is never ever prepares. He is all by the seat of his pants. Whereas Allison Sweeney's character of Melissa Bright, or Melissa Mary, it was all alliterative, is all preparation. Study the films, go to the film.
Kevin, I feel like that's us. I feel like I am Brian and you are Melissa.
Oh, great, because I was just about to trash Melissa and say how much I liked Brian. Salt over. I liked him. I actually liked his character.
Yeah.
And my wife came to the movie a little bit late. She goes, I don't like him. And I was like, really? Because I like him a lot. I don't like her.
Yeah, she was kind of a bit much for me. I also thought that the moment they fell in love was clearly when they fell during the three-legged race, which was the most pathetic attempt at a three-legged race that I've ever seen in my entire. Also, they had to run 2 miles like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like down the street.
No,
it
they
was
were
like
never going to make it.
2 miles.
I agree with them. Bail. Just bail early. Get the hell out of it.
So many people on the Hallmark group, Kevin, were like, this last 5 minutes of this film was some of the most romantic stuff I've ever seen.
Sexy.
What?
Well, no, but so this is the sleigh, the carriage. And that was her dream. She tells him her dream was always to have like a carriage. And lo and behold, at Mistletoe Inn, Brian finds that, what was his name? Stanley Roman, who runs the inn, had proposed to his wife because he had a carriage. So they start fixing it up together. Why though? Because at that point, Brian had no intention. He wasn't romantically in love.
How did that journey begin for him?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me. Also, listen, Hallmark, this is me talking directly to you. I understand that you enjoy putting wishes on Christmas trees, but please stop doing it. We understand that concept. Stop it.
Yeah. Also, Jennifer, the producer, produced nothing. At no point did she produce until the end when she turned it into a hidden camera show. Very stalkery.
That was rude.
It was
rude.
Yeah, it was rude.
I
And
said
what if things
broadcasting
got a little more
for
heated and adult? Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh! Woo! Wow. Man.
Now we're just yelling at each other.
I know. You know what's happening too? And it's why this Chris and I came up with this concept to make this go much quicker, to go 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Guys, what do you think's coming in the next 2 movies? But here's the thing, the movies got progressively better all week.
Better.
We did this wrong.
We have more to talk about, so we're just shouting facts at each other.
Lucas! Speaking of yelling Blucas at each other, there was a leading man in this film as well, Kristin.
There was. This is Mark Blucas.
Yep.
And star of this film, we're going to rate him 1 out of 10 mistletoe and objectify his sorry butt and his attempt at looking like Chris Evans. Kevin, what do you rate Mark Blucas?
All right, so the thing is, overall, I liked his character. And I'm proud of Kristin and I because we have yet to invoke words that sometimes could be fighting words, which are these 2 words, Riley, Finn. We haven't said it yet. We haven't said it until this moment. So again, we are judging the character of Brian Bright, not Riley Finn.
I guess.
More on that in a moment. That said, I liked Brian Bright. I identified with a lot of his feelings. I liked his loose way of hosting the show. I was bummed that he was trying to get out of his contract. He did also spurn an Asian woman who was his girlfriend. She went bye-bye so that Allison Sweeney could come in. I don't know if that's a negative or a positive in the sense that you're spurning someone. That's rude. But she was kind of
Just so our viewers at home know, Kristin's going to Google spurn later because I just keep thinking he's saying sperm.
I'm going to give him a 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to completely bring up Riley Finn because I can't get past it, Kevin. I can't. I hate Riley so much that when poor Mark Blucas tries to do anything else, in my eyes, he is a stupid man. I was never attracted to Riley. I was never attracted, therefore, to Mark Blucas. The only thing that I liked is this character. They wrote him a really fun character.
Yeah.
So like, none of his points are from looks because I'm sorry, Mark.
You can't go away from the Riley Finn. I get it.
I can't. And it's like they tried to do the Chris Evans sweater with the jacket bit. It didn't work for him. What I did like was when he was like very playful. I thought he actually looked his finest in that Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
That was a cute look for him. Continue with those. I'm just going to give him a 5 because I feel like a 5 is like,
I think that's fair. Now, here's the thing. Let's do this because we can have some bonus time. We're not going to talk about the movie. I have 2 things I do want to talk about. One is this. Kristin Finger, you are also an avid Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, correct?
that is accurate.
And clearly, we have invoked the name of Riley Finn. He is one of Buffy's fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Way down on the list, Stacey Abrams didn't even recognize him as one of her fellas. That said, we're also going to do an objectification of Buffy's boyfriends.
Oh my God!
So,
Can I say what I give Spike right now?
hold on, calm down, calm down. My wife is so excited because I told her we were going to do this. This is going to be, you're going to learn a little bit about me because, and my wife Julie, who you saw in a past episode, she was on A Timeless Christmas. I think she's going to be more in Kristin's camp. That said, I'm going to say this. What, Kristin, would you give Riley Finn?
A 1.
Wow!
A 1.
It's funny, I was going to write mine down. I didn't have the time to do it, and I was going to hold it up. I would give Riley a 4. And the thing is, this is not the Buffy show, so I don't need to remark on why. I'm just going to give him a 4.
I'm giving him a 1 because I've eaten like better pieces of pizza that are better than, I don't know what analogy that is.
I get it. Everybody who knows who Riley Finn is gets it. They're like, yeah, we've had, yeah, Elio's pizza is better than.
I would eat Elio's pizza before going on a date with Riley Finn.
You know what? I'm going to bump him down to a 3 because we invoked Elio's pizza. Riley Finn is the Elio's of all pizza, microwavable. still freezing cold in the middle. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is. Kristin.
Yes.
Speaking of the angel tree, to Angel, David Boreanaz. Kristin, what do you give Angel?
So I didn't love Angel. I thought he was a bit annoying, a little too mysterious for me, a little too mopey. Like, get over it. You've murdered thousands. You're a vampire.
Yeah.
Get over it. But I like David Boreanaz. I think he's a good-looking guy.
Local to the area.
He's local. I would give Angel, just on the ups and downs of their journey,
Yeah.
I would give him a 6.
Okay. And does that Angelus as well? Angel and Angelus getting a 6 together.
I would give Angelus a 6.5 because that bad boy can get it.
Yep. It would have been cool if you gave him like a 6.66 just because of the whole vampires. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, David Boreanaz gets an 8, just so you know. Not David Boreanaz, Angel. Angel gets an 8. Angel, the proper boyfriend to Buffy Summers. There it is. My wife hates it. She's like, you're wrong. Yeah. Kristin Finger. Let's move on to the next movie. I'm totally kidding. Let's talk about Spike. Let's talk about Spike. James Marsters, Kristin Finger.
Yeah.
Where would you put Spike?
I would give him a 300. A 300. He's the sexiest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't even handle James Marsters. I can't. It's too much. When you made a bear. Like, he's so can't handle him. I don't care that he made a robot Buffy. I don't care that, like, at one point he kind of abused her. I do care. That's wrong. So maybe I bump him down to a 299 because of that. But, like,
keeping the 299, okay. Yeah.
I love Spike so much.
I would also give Spike an 8. I think that Spike and Angel both get 8s. I prefer Angel. And I'm going to still go with this, that Angel killed Jenny Calendar. It was, Angelus did, but still, it was amazing. Yeah, Spike killed Slayers in the past, and he killed Wood's mother. Sure, I understand all that. Kristin, are we pivoting? Is this now a Buffy podcast?
Did we switch?
Oh, we could change the name to Teeth Mark.
I could go get my Sunnydale t-shirt. This was the best segment surprise ever.
Anya still gets a solid 10. Solid 10.
Solid 10. Are you kidding me? Meow.
Oh, by the way, if I can make implore, is that, if I could beg, it's like implore. If there's anybody out there who watched, I keep wanting to call it Merry and Bright. Like, it so messed me up.
Why didn't they just do that?
I don't know. Yeah. I think there was one. They did a movie called Merry and Bright years ago. But good morning, Christmas! If someone out there is bold enough and crafty enough to make Christmas hats for Kristin and I promise you, we will wear them for an entire episode because I loved those hats.
Those hats were great. His little, like, those curlies.
The balls, they both had the pom-poms that hung down. I want one of those so bad. When I was watching, I was like, I wish our show was more popular and we could ask someone and someone would be like, yeah, I got you. Here's a hat.
Guys, we need hats really badly now.
Kristin, the movie of Christmas by Starlight. When her family's beloved eatery, the Starlight Cafe, is slated for demolition, Annie vows to put a stop to it before Christmas. This film stars Kimberly Susted?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And Paul Campbell. Very easy to say. All right, Kristin, are you ready?
Yes.
Kristin, go.
Can I just say I loved it for 2 minutes straight? Because I loved it.
I did too. Yeah.
First of all, I love these two together. They were in a wedding one together. They were in another one together.
Godwink one. It was the only good Godwink. Yeah, they've done 3. This was the third film.
Kevin, fun fact, they co-wrote this together.
Yes. Isn't that great? Probably instead of one of these films, they're like, we could do this better. And they kind of did.
They did. I thought it was really, really fun. And the nice thing about the actress is she is so believable with the most ridiculous, because she's from 9 Lives of Christmas.
Yes.
And she is just marvelous. She might be one of my favorite females. He might be one of my favorite males.
I agree. Paul Campbell, both of them were excellent in this. The character of Annie was also adopted. So we saw adoption earlier this week. And we see it again, which I really, really like that because it adds so much texture and it's like there's a beauty to that. And I really enjoyed it.
We also got to see another married gay couple in a Hallmark movie.
Yes.
Yes!
That was great too. And it was funny. They were married, but they did some weird shenanigans stuff where I felt like the way they worded some of the writing and did some of the directing, if you are a hateful person with a blackened heart, you could make the argument, they're not married and they're also not gay. They're just very joyous and jovial. Because when he referred to being married, it was like, is he saying that guy is married to someone else because he is married?
Ooh.
Yeah, it was, but yes, it was great. They were fantastic.
Yes, agreed. And I also thought that the quote, I have it written down, ice cream is for anyone at any time in any place.
Very true.
Quote of the movie that basically summed up Paul Campbell's character for me. Wait till we objectify this. Meow, 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 meow,
Yeah,
meow.
and he assumes she wants vanilla, which she doesn't.
Oh my God, this movie,
That's all we have.
this was so good. I'm gonna watch this one so many more times. But again, I want to directly talk to Hallmark. Hi, my name is Kristin Finger, and all I want for Christmas is for you to put me in one of your movies, and therefore then become just a Hallmark sort of regular. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Kristin. Just for the record, Kristin was in this movie. She was that real sassy waitress. That would have been Kristin's character. I forget what her name was. Helen. I think her name was Helen.
The one that, yes.
Yeah, she spoke truth to power, and I loved it. Where she was like, where we find out, oh, we're still talking about the movie. You know
No,
what?
we're not allowed to. It's
The hell
illegal.
with you, timer. This is how it works.
This movie was so good.
But you know what, Kristin? You know what else was good? Looking at Paul Campbell.
Oh my God. Wow, 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 wow. Let's objectify Paul Campbell.
I do want to point out there was a point I wrote in my notes, meow, 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 and showed it to my wife. And I was like, that's for Kristin.
Oh boy. Kevin, please objectify William Holt, the character played by Paul Campbell.
Will, I like this character. This is where we cheat, Chris. Did you notice that? Because we talk a little bit more about the movie. We always have, though. So I feel that's within the parameters.
You're allowed in this because this is your reasoning of objectifying.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'd like to talk about other characters that are unrelated to Yeah. So Paul Campbell's character, Will, what was his last name?
Holt.
Will Holt. I liked him because he was not your typical. It's funny. It's the same character that Andrew Walker essentially played back in Christmas Tree Lane. However, I feel like he did it a hell of a lot better. Paul Campbell looks like we sometimes say like a poor man version, but I wouldn't even say that. He looks like a stand-in for Joel McHale. Like I could absolutely see. Is he in that? Yeah. I mean that tight shave that he had going into it was just really nice. Man, he's battling my Elvis. You know, Elvis only gets a 10, but I'm easily going to give Paul Campbell a 9.
I don't see how you couldn't. I don't understand the world if you give him any less than a 9. All right. I'm going to go over a few things briefly with
Do
you.
it.
First off, he fits his suit perfectly.
Yeah.
He walks and acts like Joel McHale.
Yeah, right? When he shows up at that party and he's walking up the walkway and it's lit, it was like they shot that for the promo of the movie when I saw it, but he looked great in it and I was like...
And he just was like, oh, hey. And I was like, have my baby.
He wrote that in the script for certain. He's like, I walk up the walkway and look all hot.
Also, he made grilled cheese.
He did. Yes, he
and
did.
they ate it together.
I got a text message from someone, even though we're not allowed to talk about these movies, about that.
Who texted you?
You did. You told me you're going to marry him.
Yeah, I'm gonna marry him so hard. I gave him a 10.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Perfect. I loved him so much.
When he was wearing the tux at the dinner and he opened it and he had the ugly sweater vest, it was like, yeah, dude, that's a baller move right there.
I can't even describe a perfect man to anyone that's never seen this movie because he's so great, so funny. He's oh my god.
The ending to this movie is exactly a Christmas Tree Lane, though. Exactly, to the point where they you know, the diner does not get ripped down. They reincorporate it within the building, and I was like, Andrew Walker. It was
Here's
very
the
funny.
thing. I don't even remember what the plot of Christmas Tree Lane was because Andrew Walker
You're the worst.
snooze.
And we'd like to welcome our guest, Andrew Walker.
Come on in, buddy. I have a few notes for you.
All right, Chris, here it is. It's our final movie of the week. Can you believe it? Kristen, I'm going to put 1 minute on the timer. Here's the challenge for Chris and I. We have to do this one backwards. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. No way.
And go.
I don't know what that would mean. Do we turn around and do it? Maybe that's the cheat. We're talking about 5 Star Christmas. When a travel writer shows up unexpectedly at their dad's B&B, the Ralston family all pretend to be guests in hopes of a good review. Lucy falls for guest Jake, but can't share her secret. This is starring Bethany Joy Lentz and Victor Webster. Chris.
Yeah.
Limber up.
Hot copper coffee pot. Hot copper coffee pot.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
And go.
What a delight this film was. What I really enjoyed was just the whole family value of it, that everyone got to be participating and it wasn't just one single love interest story plotline.
Absolutely, yeah. But here's the thing. B. Turner is this mystery travel writer. If you did not know who B. Turner was from the get-go, you shouldn't be watching any movie at all, let alone a Hallmark movie.
That's a real person?
No, I'm saying that who it is, because they think it's this woman that shows up because she has a BT, and they're like, oh, it's Beverly, whatever her name was, and it's B. Turner is Jake, and you know it's Jake.
Immediately.
Yeah, it makes no sense for it to be anyone else.
But also, really important question, maybe this should have been on the Movies and Mystery Station, but what was in his bag that was so heavy if he really wasn't a geographer or whatever he was?
A geologist, yeah, because it had rocks and tools and stuff. I don't know. That's a great question. It was just
what was in there?
Just rocks, probably. He picks up on the side of the road.
I also love the brother's character that he chose to play during this entire film.
That's it. That's all the time. Come on. We don't get redemption time on this?
Nah, it was great. I highly recommend this one if you're just in for a family of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And you know what? I will say one other thing, and I don't care that we're outside the time, because my wife pointed this out because I didn't understand it. And maybe I missed something. The grandfather was bumbling and weird and goofy because they're all in disguise, and he put on a pair of glasses that were prescription but not his, and he couldn't see. Did you not know that either?
No!
I didn't either, but when Julie pointed it out, I would watch him, and he would take them off once, like when he goes into the town, he takes them off and everything's fine, and at the end of the movie, he goes, I really like playing this character, and it was like, what? Yeah. That's why he shows up with Christmas decorations and goes, anyone know where the Christmas decorations are? It's like, it literally says it on the box.
Oh, all right. I wasn't following the grandpa's plot line for his character well enough, apparently. My bad.
Grandpa was also the fellow who ran Mistletoe Inn in Christmas morning, in the morning. Christmas, good morning, Christmas. That's it. Yeah. Chris, we had another gentleman to objectify in this movie, Victor Webster.
So I don't remember his character's name. I thought he was what?
Jake.
Jake?
Yeah.
I mean, if his last name was Gyllenhaal, we'd be talking a different scale. But 1 out of 10 mistletoes, I don't know. He's.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I like his knowledge of sassafras. I will be honest, when we watched the trailer for this, I thought, is that her father? And I looked up their ages, and Bethany Joy Lentz is 39 years old. Victor Webster is 47. So they're not that different in age, but it feels like he feels older.
But they're doing this thing where they're finding these women who are miraculously good for you in your skincare regimen, look 25, but then the guys just look their age. So then it looks odd.
It's disproportionate, yeah, without a doubt. And plus, the father looked like he was a relatively young dude too. So it was like, wait, what's happening here?
Right. Like he looked like he was like her uncle.
Yeah. And wouldn't you have had the grandfather play Santa, not the father? I know this has nothing to do with the objectification, but
We're still talking about the movie.
Victor Webster, I liked him. I didn't think I would. I liked him. He was one of those dudes that, as you're watching, you're like, I would hang out with this guy. He seems funny. He's very knowledgeable about things. He's very kind. He's the take off the jacket and give it to you because you're cold person. He had given the sassafras candy cane. He had left it behind so that, what was her? Lucy. So Lucy would get it, even though it was the last one, which that was a fun moment too, because when she goes in to buy all of them, and then she runs to steal them, and she goes, oh, I have to pay for them. She goes, put them on my tab, and still leaves, and the guy's like, you
don't have a tab.
A lot
Get
of
back
theft.
here,
A lot
thief.
of theft. That said, there was no bells and whistles to this character. It was just like, he was a decent character. He did sing Elvis very badly, but that was part of the joke. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a well-earned 7.
Yeah, I don't know. Can I look him up again?
Yeah, of course.
Victor Webster?
Yeah, do you want me to talk to the audience while you're looking him up?
No.
I can tell more about the plot.
Listen, if this is what he looked like in the movie, okay.
Yeah.
Like, leave those shirts unbuttoned. But
Well,
this
it's
isn't
cold.
what he looked like. He looked like this doof. And I don't know. I gave him a 5. Again, because it's like, take him or leave him.
Yeah. What did you think of him singing Blue Christmas, though?
That's what bumped him down to a 5 for me.
Really? I thought that would bring him up because he's not a great singer, but he was like, I'm going to sing to get her attention because you saw earlier in the movie when everyone's caroling and he dances and doesn't sing because he's not a good singer. And it's like the fact that he sings to her because she's got a connection to Blue Christmas, I can't get a 6 for you. I can't get
All right. We'll just leave him at a 5, though. But
if you would come to a 6, I was going to go down to a 6.
I'll go to a 6.
All right, I'm going up to an 8. Take that, Finger. So, Chris, let's rank just these 5 movies. We're not going to go through. We're not going to put them in with our other movies. We'll rank these 5, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may for the rest of the week. Let's just go them straight in order, 1 through 5. Where are you going to put the first movie, which was called The Heart of the Holidays?
I'm putting that in the trash.
Me too. That's my 5. Yep. It can't go lower because that's all there is.
Yeah.
Second movie, A Tree Grows in Colorado, Brooklyn, Colorado. Where's it going for you, Kristin Finger?
I'd leave it right there. Number 4.
Me too.
Yeah.
How about that?
This might be the same.
I maybe we'll see. Well, maybe it might be. The number 3 spot we have.
Good morning, Christmas.
We might have the exact same list. Yeah. So far they are in order in which we watch them. Mondays is number 5. Tuesdays number 4. Number 3 is Wednesday. That said, that number 3 is a strong 3. Like I feel like the 4 and 5, it's like, yeah, they're okay. 4 is okay. 5's bad. But I like Good Morning Christmas, and I would watch it again.
It's still not Cranberry Christmas bad, though.
That said, Kristin, what is your number 2?
Ironically, it starts with the number 5. Star Christmas!
The exact same list. Me too. So our number 1 is Christmas by Starlight. Awesome. So good. It's funny, those 2 movies are the ones I would have done lots and lots of talking about because there's things to make fun of in there as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they were the 2. I definitely.
But they were wonderful. I'll watch them again. I told my mom to watch 5 Star Christmas. She's gonna love just the chaos and hooting and hollering, and it's like a slapstick. The way they're like hup 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 hup, like
yeah. There are great moments in that one. Some wonky stuff in there too, but you'll have to ask us on the street because you can't ask us on the show.
Here. Well, wait a minute, Kevin. They could email us.
They could email us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. Feel free to email. It is the cheat that will allow us to talk more about some of these.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, so please email us to talk more about Christmas by Starlight.
My favorite's going to be the email that's like, hey, could you talk a ton about Heart of the Holidays?
No.
Why
No,
would
we
you want
can't. No, we can't.
Also, feel free to make those hats. Chris and I can give you our hat head sizes. We would very much appreciate those hats.
This big.
If you've watched this episode on this day, Thursday, December 3rd, and you're like, I need more, sure, there's another episode you can watch, but you can also buy a ticket at cztix.com, and you can watch us talk about Christmas Waltz at 8 p.m. I burped through that.
I say leave it. I mean, if we're not real people to these fans, then who are we?
Yeah, I mean, people burp. This is only water that's in here. When I was filming it, my daughter goes, "Ooh, you making hot chocolate?" And I was like, I would throw up if I drank hot chocolate while we did this show. It would be very gross. Yes, 8 p.m. on, if you're watching it, it is 8 p.m. tonight on Thursday, December 3rd. If you're watching this on December 4th, guess what? We're doing 2 more live shows, December 10th and December 17th. Go to our Facebook page, go to our Instagram, follow us on YouTube, and you'll get all of the down low on what is happening.
You got to watch these episodes, guys. They all have to be as many views as our Christmas House episode. That's our new goal.
We don't know what's happening. That thing is blowing up. I mean, we're very appreciative of
oh my God,
any views that we get, but that one has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views. And at this point, it might even be up to 1,000, which I don't know why, and I love it. So
I'll cry. If we hit 1,000, I will literally bawl my eyes out.
If we hit 2,000 and we don't get our hats, I will make them for Chris and I. I have no time. Please, somebody make us hats.
Somebody make us hats.